Okay, I'm gonna try something. I gotta try this. What I'm doing is I'm doing something for a friend of mine, Brad Elkins, who sent me these foam back latex hands and these gloves. And what he had the idea to do was to see if I could make these become, because you gotta wear them. The idea is to have the gloves on the hands with the foam latex on the top. So what I'm going to attempt to do, and I've not done this before, but I'm going to attempt to adhere these foam back pieces here to these gloves. And how I'm going to do that is I have some latex here. I'm going to start with this one first, since it's got some latex on it already. Take a little brush, get in here, brush the latex on the foam back pieces right here in the center. And then I will make sure it lines up with the hand. Right here. And I'll go, once I get this thing set up, I'll go through each finger on this and make sure that it does what it's supposed to do. But what I'm trying to do is adhere the foam back pieces to the back of the gloves. Of course, I'll have to do some paint detailing in this. Now, these have ridges and grooves in them, so what I'm going to do now is just take these and just kind of take the latex and put it a little thickly on here, because I want it to adhere really well to these gloves. So I'm going to press them down, and it's going to naturally want to pop back into shape. But that's where I've taken the latex and put it underneath. Now, this is not spirit, this is regular casting latex. It's not spirit gum latex. I don't know why that cut off, but we're going to go with round 2. Okay, we've got this adhered to this glove. Now I'm going to set this aside and let it dry. Bring over the next glove, and we're going to do the same thing on here. Just take appliance latex, regular casting latex, and apply it to the backs of the gloves so they stick on these, back of the hands, so they stick on these gloves. So what I'm going to do is there again, this time I'll put some latex down here, and then also put some latex on this. That way it kind of ensures a double bond. Latex does stick well to latex. Trust me. Any of you guys that pull masks, you know that. If you don't baby powder it before you put it in, it's going to stick to itself, and it's very hard to pull apart. Just lay that down like so on the fingers. Make the fingers come out, the gloves kind of line up. Press it down. It's not going to be perfect. I got to try to line it up and make it perfect to fit. There we go. I'll take each finger, peel it back, put a dabbling of latex on the glove. Now this, like I said before, this has got a natural, the foam has a natural curve in it. And I'm trying to put in as much latex in under that curve So even though the foam latex itself wants to pop back up in place on the curved part, it will still stick to the glove. I've not done this before. I don't know if it got mentioned the first part of this thing before it cut off, but I've not done this before. This is a first time venture for this. Of course, I have to do a repaint of these gloves and hands after doing this, but I want to make sure that they're adhered first before I paint them, because if you paint them and then you try to stick them on there and you get latex everywhere, kind of like what I'm doing, it's going to mess up your paint job. So be sure, if you do this, to stick them to your glove, appliance, whatever hand thing you're using, before you paint them. These came pre-painted. So, you got to make sure. I don't think there's enough latex on that. I got to gob it up a little bit. I haven't turned my phone sideways there so you guys can see this, so I apologize if you don't see the entire thing. And I'm not able to see the screen either, so the Halloween DIY little tutorial here. These are foam latex appliances that you commonly you use spirit gum and apply these directly to your skin. Do not use casting latex directly to the skin. Dangerous. Especially if you're going to wear these for long periods of time. Okay, we got those in place. They're not quite dry, but I'm going to go ahead and go back to this one. It's stuck a little bit better. And I'm going to paint this up. I've got to paint the glove as well, so what I'm going to do is start that process. Front and back, I believe. Now these are done to match the same color of the mask that I did for Brad as well. Going rather quickly. On this, I'm going to leave some of the pattern in it and actually go back in and take some out for purposes of creating bone texture. He did request to have bone texture on these, so. I don't know how well I'll be able to do that on the underside of here, but it'll definitely work for the top side. Let me switch over and do this for the painting part, because I think this is going to be easier for me to do. I'm going to put this on my stand, and I'll bring you guys back up to where you can see it on level here. How about that? A little bit better. Okay. So I've got this up on the stands here. It'd be more better than looking directly down on it. And as you can see, yes, the glove has already, the latex is already set to the glove. I'm just going to airbrush the glove and paint it the same color as the hands and all that stuff. Probably a quick, fun afternoon project just for my friend Brad Elkins to see if it can work. Because my hands have been delayed due to technical difficulties and the fact that the latex was shrinking too much and I didn't size them out right. So I made a technical error on that being the first time I did it and tried to sculpt it a little bit larger than normal. And in the end, the latex is shrinking a lot more than I'm used to. So that's why you always want to lesson learn from that. When you sculpt something and you're going to cast it in latex, you want it to be at least three times size larger. I would say, that's my guesstimate, at least 2 to 3 times larger than you're not one size bigger, but 2 sizes bigger, maybe 3, when you do the sculpting for latex, because you want to make sure that's going to fit. Because each time you make a pull and have to re-pull and recast and do all that stuff, oops, bad word, remold, you want to make sure that your mold is going to be the same size proportionally as it would normally be. You can pretty much do these in any color, but he wants a part 7. And this is kind of a cheap way of doing it. Rather than a regular way. I've covered the entire thing with paint. And what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to take care of this latex real quick. I don't want to waste this. I'll be right back. Got to pour this back in the bucket. I won't leave it. Okay, I'm back. Alright, so here's what we're doing. We'll go along, make sure that, see there's an edge here where some of the latex is sticking out, the appliance. So I can take a Q-tip or a popsicle stick, grab a little latex on that, minus the hair. Probably work better with a Q-tip. Q-tip grabs a thicker amount. Just run that down there and tuck it. And then run some latex on top. Make sure that it adheres and sticks. So now you've got that one little piece there that's going to be stuck on the side. That hair. Malformed latex, that's alright, because that'll just texture it. I'm going to take a clean thing in front of my alcohol. Take a Q-tip. And for bone detail, you basically just want to go over the spots where you want bone to show up and pull the paint back. Pull it back to the original latex color. It's that easy. Don't need to paint it white. That's ridiculous. You can do old bone white if you want, but me, I don't. I utilize a natural latex coloring for all my bone work. Not all those artists do that, but I do. Wherever you want bone to appear, you can do that. Might not look good as a sculpted piece, but that's what you got. You can work with what you got. So I'm just doing the knuckle parts here to get those to look a little bit like bone. Dirty bone. He says he's not looking for any particular look to the gloves insofar as how it looks, so I'm just going to randomize this. Cut that off because it's noisy. I'm just going to do a little randomizing for the bone texture. you look on Google, I'm sure you can find foam latex appliance hands like this. Pretty much Etsy, eBay, there are some specialty shops that make them. So, you know, you can find them pretty much anywhere. They're not that expensive either. I think they're somewhere in under 20 bucks, if I'm not mistaken. I've not done a ton of research on these. Actually pull it back on the fingertips here. I think that would look good. It came from Graveyard Effects. Thank you, Brad. Brad Elkin just named where they came from. So if you guys are looking for these, go to Graveyard Effects. That's where you'll find them. Let's leave a couple. I like these dark fingernails, so I'm going to leave a couple dark. Just as a degenerative effect. And we'll just randomize this for like bone. We can put a little bit more on there if we want. Darken it in where it wants to be dark. And you can put texture in here with the paint as well. Dark or light, however you want to do it. Thing is to try to go over the gloves and get every inch of space that you can that you see doesn't look like a natural color. Especially in between the fingers of the gloves. You got to get all of that. Otherwise you'll have yellow showing up. It'll kind of kill the effect. Here we see the first glove, pending Brad's approval. I'm going to put this on my hand, flex it. So you see that it does work, it does flex, make a complete fist, flex all the fingers. I don't know how that looks to you, Brad, but this is what we've got to work with, and so far it's holding up pretty well. So you have one hand. I'm going to get photos after I get these done with these, because these are looking pretty good. I'm amazed at how well these turn out. I'm having to go over, like I've got a spot right here. They're not giving you the middle finger. I'm just showing you the yellow that shows up in the glove, and you got to paint over it. Thing about this is, the only word of caution I would say is when you take this off, you want to get the glove at the parts that you can pull that don't have the foam on them. Okay? Pull it off underneath. Use your fingers and go underneath. Pull from the underside of the glove to get it off. If you pull on the appliance, it will rip, tear, and come off. That is a given. These things are not indestructible. You don't want to rip them up as soon as you get them. So like I said, go from the underside of the glove, pull like this, and pull your hand out of the glove. Like so. That way you don't damage the front of it. Alright, Brad, you get that? I'm going in with a secondary color here to spice this up a little bit. Turn it over on the back. All the yellow. Like I said, this is a cheap and easy way you can make your own hands. You got an airbrush, you got some paints, you got a little latex, and these foam appliances. Okay? I'm not trying to be Alan Hops or Ed Edmonds here. This is just me doing this for the first time. Although I'm going to tag both of them in this video. Just if they've never done anything like this or seen anything, maybe it's something I can help teach somebody else. Okay, this glove is basically done. I'm going to let it dry and see how it comes out color-wise. I'll set this off to the side somewhere it'll dry. We'll put the second one up here. The second one in test fitting. Does work. Just got to paint over some of the latex. It is dry. There is a couple of pieces of latex that I'm going to have to adhere down. There are a couple of spots I need to get. But for the most part, appliance is on. Okay? Like I said, go on the underside of the glove here. Grab the cloth. Do not grab the appliance part. You will rip and tear the appliance off. There are a couple of spots on this that you have to go in and make sure that you have done well. Tuck it up under there. You get a little latex on the glove, don't worry about it. It'll actually add skin effect to the appliance. Once you do that, you pull that out, push it in firmly, make sure that it's adhered to the glove. Because you don't want it popping off when you put the glove on, stretch it out. But you do want it to be firmly adhered. See those little flaps? And I've got a little gap up here at the top on the glove. Just turn around, push that right on there. Some foam in there and just squeeze it on there. This is the Dollar Tree way of making hands. Trust me. And about as cheap and ghetto as it gets. But it can look equally good and cool. That's not to take away from this effect. It does look pretty cool when it's finished. Provided you have the right paint and all that stuff. Okay, now, while that's drying on the back, I'm going to take the front. Oh, got a little bit right here I got to do. A little dibble dabble on the sides here. Just have to curve and make sure that all sticks down on the glove. And just push it down on there. It'll stick. And it'll stay. That's why latex makes a good adhesive. But trust me, it sticks to clothes like nobody's business. Okay. Do my hand cleanup here. Real quick. And we'll get to spraying this glove. Oop. Interesting that Brad would send me a pair of gloves that already have color in them. Red. I'm also going to put this up on YouTube for anybody that wants to follow my channel and see what I'm doing and learn how to do stuff. So Brad, it'll only pop off if you pull it off. You saw me test fitting these things before the paint and after. So you see it live that they stick. But if they do start to come loose for whatever reason, grab a needle and thread, throw a couple of stitches in there. That'll work. Where's my other paint? Here it is. Go back to the back side of the hands. Get the, oh, shit. Oh, there you go. All right. Make sure you got the whole thing covered. More paint. You got to make sure to get in between your fingers. Cover all parts of the glove, as well as the appliance. Granted, like I said, this is not going to be as good as buying a pair of latex hands from an artist. But if you cannot afford one will be appointed to you. No, I'm sorry. No, it's the same effect as a pair of latex hands, but you're doing this yourself. So you see, they do fit. I've got them, okay, they're not coming off. But remember, always pull from the underside to get the glove off. If you pull from the top and you rip the appliance off, I'm not responsible. I am not responsible. I cannot stress how much and how important it is to get it from the underside at every single time you take them off. Got a little bit of a gap here. I'll take some latex with a Q-tip and put it up under there and push it down. And then cap some latex on top. Make a seam of sorts, if you will. Fill that gap. You gapped it up on top, then you just put it on top and fill the seam. And just spray right over it. Now this isn't really dry, but before it dries, I'm going to pull back some of the paint for the bone effect again. We'll get a clean Q-tip for that one. All I'm doing is going on top in certain and various spots of this piece to make it look like bone by pulling it back to the latex. Not going to be bone, but it's going to look like it. It's as close as I can get with what I'm working with. Now you're going to ask, where did I learn how to do this? I didn't. This is all being done in my head as I work. I have not studied any videos on how to do this. I have not. This is just me thinking. This is rational, common sense, right brain thinking, I think. I don't know which one controls the creative side, the left or the right. I'm not sure exactly which one it is, but whichever side of the brain it is that controls the creative part is what I'm using. Anywhere that looks like there's a raised ridge, like right here on the back of the hand, that's what I'm pulling back to try and show bone, because it's going to be raised, so it's going to have the texture look of bone coming through the hands. By the way, these also look like they could be a cool pair of Predator gloves as well, which is another project that I'm going to be working on eventually, 2021 or something, maybe before the before the end of the year. Now I'm going to do the fingernails just to get a couple of these nails to kind of look grotesque and whatnot. I'm not going to pull them all back. I think the ones that have less paint on them are going to be the easiest ones to do. Get a little pull back on that. There we go. This is just a general look. For just a DIY Part 7 pair of hands that you can do yourself using foam appliances and a regular pair of gloves from Tractor Supply or any place like that. Do have a couple of spots I'm going to go back in there and fix, but this is generally it. And take this and put this on the other hand, using my teeth if necessary. Regular pair of gloves in the backs of these hands. Now these are just like I said, these are foam appliances. You can get them from Graveyard Effects. A little bit of paint, a little bit of latex, and you can make yourself a pair of Part 7 gloves just using regular pair of gloves. There you go. So now I'm going to set these aside and let them dry completely. Pending the customer, Brad Elkins' approval, I will seal them and have them in the mail probably tomorrow for him. Remember, always pull from the underside of the glove. You have to go back and repaint, it's no big deal. You do not want to pull from the top where the appliances are, because you are stretching and rip those appliances off. Alright? Let these dry. I got to doctor up a couple of spots in paint here. That's about it. On the glove. Let these dry and set. Make sure everything's good. Sealed and delivered and all that stuff. And once it meets with the customer approval, I will seal it. I'm not one for giving too many secrets. This stuff, Flex Seal Clear, is rubber in a can. It's what I seal all my masks with. It's what I will seal the backs of these with, to make sure the paint doesn't rub off, or if it gets wet, they don't wash off. People give me a bunch of flack about, oh, you can't use that. You got to use wet. This is stuff that I bought Fright Pop wet. This gives a wet look to props and stuff. I can put this on there as well. When I have a mask that needs to look kind of glistening wet, this is what I use. Then I have Monster Maker's Flex Gloss, which is a backup. And then I also have Liquitex Matte Varnish. This is good for a brushing up of masks and stuff like that. So I've got like 3 or 4 different sealers. But at the moment, this stuff is working really well for me. So when it works, I stay with it. If it doesn't, I move on to something else. Anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you very much. And this will conclude this tutorial video. I do want to show you guys one other thing. This is the new Elvis. The Parasaurus from Jurassic Park 2. I'm going to be undertaking the painting of this likely this weekend. And I've got to study some photos and stuff to make sure I get the color context on that right. But that's pretty much it. And then I've got a Myers, and I've got another one here. This is a satin white satin. I think it's like from the Rob Zombie remake. I think I got this from, I don't want to say Jonah and the Mirror. I got it from somebody. I can't remember the guy's name. But I will be doing this up as well. And hairing yet. So I've got a lot of, oh, here's another one. This is one I wanted to jump on. This is from Hocus Pocus. This is a Quasimodo. This is a wearable mask as well. I'm going to put this on real quick. I'm still trying to figure out the skin color for this guy. Full head mask from Hocus Pocus. Same guy that made the Tar Man did this one. So I'm going to try to get this painted up and figure out where we'll go on that. Okay? So thank you very much for watching, you guys on Facebook, and I appreciate it, and we will see you next time. Thank you.